Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. And I got a question from a long-time subscriber, and he wanted to know, can love survive without money? Can love survive without making a lot of money in relationships? It really depends. Really. It's going to depend on what type of relationship you have, what type of person you're dealing with, how this person was raised, where they're from, what's their upbringing, and what's the purpose of y'all being in a relationship together, and how do y'all manage your relationship? I mean, is the relationship based on just one person taking what they can get from the other person so they can have more freedom? Or what are y'all building together, if anything? What's the foundation of the relationship? You know, unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic society. And see, what most people don't understand, your relationship is set up to fail. Now, when I say that, a lot of people kind of be like, what? What are you talking about? It's set up to fail. It's set up to fail. Your relationship is set up to fail. I mean, take a look around. The divorce rate is at over 50%. And it's been over 50% for a long time. So that tells you that there's something wrong. There's something that's not working for a lot of people. And plus, you got to look at it like marriage or just any long-term relationships that's going to stay together. It takes a village. It's a team sport. You have to have support. And most relationships don't have support. Most relationships don't have the tools that it takes to succeed and stay together. See, most people don't understand this. Most people think that if I have the other person, that's all it takes. If I love the other person, that's all it takes. It's not about how you feel all the time. How you feel is one thing, but if you don't have the tools that it takes in order to be successful at anything in life, you're going to have a very difficult time, and then you're going to have a lot of failures in life. That's just a reality. And this doesn't have anything to do with how you feel. See, a lot of people get caught up in how they feel with almost everything, because we live in a feel-good society. Some people feel like if they love someone, that they're supposed to be together. And that's not true. You know, there's a lot of people that I care about, and I still care about today, but I knew when I met them that we would have not been together if I decided to have a long-term relationship with them, because just based on my experience, and I understand how two people can come together and interact together, and I can understand how, you know, sometimes some people are not good together, not good living together. This is why some people, when they're living in separate households and they see each other from time to time, they get along great. But as soon as they move in with each other, it's chaos. And that's because some people just don't have chemistry. You have to have chemistry. Where it's like when you're around this person, it feels like natural. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel stressful all the time. It doesn't feel like you're pushing and grunting. It doesn't feel like you're pulling teeth to have a conversation with this person all the time. You know, so some people just aren't meant to be together. And plus, if you throw the money and the kids in the mix and all the other rest of the stuff, what people want, house, car, and a certain place to live. And if you throw all of that in the mix, and when one person doesn't feel like they don't have what they want to have, and things are supposed to be a certain type of way, and things should be like this, and things should be like that. When you throw all that stuff in the mix, and most of it, by the way, is nonsense, and it's not even necessary in most cases, that's what most people stress over, though. And when you throw that in the mix, that makes relationships even worse. Because one person could be very superficial, doesn't really see the big picture. They just want what they want out of a relationship because they didn't come in a relationship with the right intentions from the get-go. And the other person is thinking about the family. They're planning for the future. They're thinking about the big picture. They're thinking about the kids, and they're thinking about the kids going to school. They're thinking about the kids in the future. They're thinking about setting the kids up so they can have better opportunities than they did. And the other person is thinking about, hey, I want to go to the newest restaurant in town. I want to take a trip the weekend. I want to do something during the holiday. The other person is thinking about the holiday and hanging out and having a good time and partying. And meanwhile, the other person is really on some progressive empowerment type shit. You know, and this is what happens in most relationships. You have two people that not on the same page, that shouldn't have been together in the first place, but they got together in most cases because it was all based on feeling. There's no foundation there, really, you know. So I mean, it's gonna really take, for the average couple, it's gonna take a lot for them to stay together today. And especially, you know, a lot of people don't have their money right. You know, they really don't have no plans until they get together, and that's when they start coming up with a plan. But they should have had a plan even before they got together. But a lot of people put the cart before the horse, and you know, this is what happens. This is why a lot of relationships don't last. And plus, even when some people have money, the money, or should I say extra money, makes things even worse. Because you have one person is a spender, doesn't like to save anything or invest anything, or just got bad money habits or bad spending habits, and don't want to learn anything, and don't care, and don't want to build anything. They just want to spend everything that they get. Then you got the other person that actually want to empower themselves or better themselves and thinking about the family as a whole. But the other person doesn't really care about the family, you know. So in some cases, it's not necessarily the lack of money that makes things difficult. It's having money that makes things difficult, because you got some couples, they fight and bicker over the money. They fight and bicker and hide money from the other person as well. That happens a lot. A lot of women do that. And they learn that from their mothers. They learn how to hide money for a rainy day from the man. And they'll have the man out there pushing and grunting, you know, during the holidays, working 2-3 jobs while she's at home with her leg up looking at television, eating and talking on the phone and doing whatever she's doing. And meanwhile, she can make things much easier, much light on the guy but she won't do it because she's selfish. And this is pretty common. And when he finds out that she's been keeping secrets from him, and then he's going to not trust her anymore, because once you do stuff behind someone's back and they catch you doing it a couple of times, that breeds distrust within the relationship. But you know what? A lot of women don't see it that way. They think that, hey, this is how it's supposed to be. I'm the woman. I was raised like this, you know, and they'll justify why it had to be this way. This is why I always tell guys, get your money right. But, you know, before you get into any marriage or get into any long-term relationship. And if you don't have your money right, that's where most of your focus should be at. That's why I started the Day Job Bailout YouTube channel. Because if you don't have your money right, and if you're living from paycheck to paycheck or in between paychecks, you shouldn't be in a long-term relationship at all. Most of your time should be spent on making the money. So go over there and subscribe to Day Job Bailout Plan. And P.S. and by the way, check out my Patreon. Go over there and subscribe too. It's patreon.com/sharpgame. Go over there and subscribe on my Patreon, and go and subscribe on my other channel, the Day Job Bailout Plan. And if you like what you heard, subscribe to this channel. Check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Go get my books, Love Can't Wait, on Amazon.com. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.